Okay, I'm a curtain fitter, have been for over 30 years. I just want to talk to you about what I have for my everyday carry. So for the past 5 years, I've been using these ToughBuilt Clip Tech system. So I have the 8-inch ToughBuilt Clip Tech bag. I've got a Clip Tech on the strap. I've also modified it and I've riveted another Clip Tech clip on the end, so it means I can have 2 pouches on this bag. It's starting to wear a little bit. We've got a few scrapes and cuts. We've got wear where one of the pouches is there, but for 6 years daily use, it's in pretty good nick. Right, let me show you what I have. So I use this pouch, don't know what it's called. The Clip Tech system has these little clips, so it just hooks on, hooks off. So it's handy if I've got any big jobs where I'm fitting all the same things. I have a tool belt and I can just strap those to a tool belt. So let's put the driver section together first. So I use Arizola electrician screwdrivers. I like the plastic sheath so it doesn't damage any tracks or poles as I'm sort of fitting them. So we've just got fine nib flat driver. Sometimes you get some really tiny grub screws on things. Normal flat driver. Got posi driver. I've got a plus on the top, as you can probably tell, so I know what I'm working with. And then again, fine tipped driver. I've cut the sheath on this. I sometimes use this for if I've fitted a batten and I want to mark out where the batten is, drill through the batten, hold the batten to the hole, wall, and then push that through the hole to make a mark on the wall. But also, I use these Fisher Duo Power plugs, which are 6 by 50 mil, and I can use this as a depth gauge after I've drilled the hole. So that goes in there, and then I've got a little thing with a magnetic bit holder just for some of those really awkward windows. So that's in there. And then we've got some long nose pliers. So I use these for the number 10 ball chain. If I need to extend it or shorten it, I can open up the ball with that. I also use the flat bladed screwdriver there. If I put the ball on the tip, just tap it down, it will open up the ball just to the right width so that I can feed the other ends of the chain together and then clamp it back up. So that goes in there. I have a Delphin carpet fitter's knife. It's really easy to change the blades, just got the wheel to do that. So it's in a sheath, so that kind of goes in my back pocket. That's in there. An engineer's square. I use this for sort of just setting out, marking out where I'm going to drill. So that's in there. And then a really small ball peen hammer. So basically just for sort of tapping in the raw plugs into the wall. So that's it. That's that part of the section done. Clips nicely on there. And then the next pouch. Again, ToughBuilt pouch. This is really where my driver goes. So this is a drill driver, Bosch Professional. Slots nicely in there. Stanley Stanley tape measure in the front, and then I use PH2 bits. These are in a standard length. Sometimes what I do, if it's into board and do lots of fitting, if it's just through plasterboard, I'll use a small screw to kind of find out what I'm fitting first. Then I may just sort of use that to basically drill through the hole and then put a plug. It all depends on the thickness of the board. So they go in there. Range of drill bits, just drop in there. And again, wood bit for sort of drilling out battens. And I think that's probably a 4mm bit. And then also a range of Allen keys. So you know, if you're sort of fitting neo poles or silent gliss poles, tracks, there's a range that kind of go in there. They go in the bottom of that pouch. Always quite handy to get. And then that's in my bag. Then in the middle of my bag, I use an L-Box Mini. So a range of screws, 20mm, 4x20s, 4x30s, 4x40s, and then 3.5mm self-drilling screws, different lengths, and Fisher Duo Power, and the raw plug Uno plugs to fit to. Random tool that's kind of in there. If you have, it was bought for me and I thought, well, I'm never going to use it, but actually for screw eyes, perfect. So that's in there. That goes middle section of the bag. Snips, pliers in there. Again, another tool that was bought for me is a little ratchet system. It's got a magnetic bit holder. So I use this for neo poles. If we've got a screw right up near the ceiling that's quite small, we can get that in there. Okay, spare battery, just in there. A spirit level, using the Bosch Professional, that's just in there. Staple remover, again, another tool that's bought for me. Sometimes you have to do some emergency surgery on things like pelmets, or if you're taking an old pelmet down, you've got lots of staples to take out. This does the job. Like a disto measure, so laser measure. Does the measurement. So perfect for measuring inside of recesses. So that goes in the pocket at the back. Let's just tuck that. So that's it. That's in there. So these two, polyfiller and a spreader. So that goes in there. I have the polyfiller not because I make mistakes, but because if I'm taking down an existing customer's pole or track, there may be some holes left over. What I'll always do out of courtesy is just fill those holes and then leave it for them to sort of decorate. So that gets dropped in there. File, after cutting down metal pole just to take the swarf off. That's in there. We've got some little sort of belt across the back to hold things in. An adjustable guide, so marking out for pelmets. So that's in there. That's in the everyday carry. So, and also I have a roll of black electrical tape. It's quite handy for just taping up on poles, making a mark where you need to cut. That goes on a little strap down here, and then masking tape if I'm marking out and measuring for things like Roman blinds, that's on there as well. The electrical tape is also good if you have any cuts sort of on your finger, just to kind of tape it up before you go out to the first aid box that's in the car, so that you don't get blood on anything. That's happened a few times. Scissors, small pair, large pair. I've got a little slot just behind here. They fit in there nicely. Super glue. It's just handy to have. I've used it in events where the grub screw on finials has kind of been sort of cross-threaded and doesn't hold. So I've put a dab of glue into the threads and the grub screw just to kind of hold it. A chalk marker. So if you're marking out for a pole, the customer's got really dark wallpaper, you can't see a pencil mark, the chalk marker allows me to make a mark and wipe it off. Permanent marker, it's just handy to have in there. Pencils, so just for marking up, that's what they do. Cobalt bits, 3.2 mil, drilling into steel lintels. I would usually have these in my other drill pack, but because it's sort of, the idea with this bag is it will do 60% of the jobs that I need to do with it. So if I'm going in fitting blinds into a recess and they may have a lintel in there, I've got the self-drilling screws in there. If it's kind of a little bit tough, I've got these to do just drill through as well. So there's a little pocket, and I find those ones fit there nicely. Little Barco hacksaw. It only gets used occasionally because usually I've got my bigger hacksaw that I would take in, but it's in there as a, just in case. Staple gun, stapling Velcro to pelmets. So that's in there. And some spare staples. Silicone spray. So if you've got a track that's sticking, just need to help it along the way. If you just fitted a curtain pole, it's always worth giving it a little bit of a spray with silicone. That's in there. And I have a paintbrush as well. So I could use this for just getting bits of dust off there, or if the customer asks me to touch any bits up that I've just filled and they've got the paint, it's in there as a just in case. And the final thing is a pack of wipes. So the idea with these is I always have them with me. It's good to wipe down the sills after you've sort of drilled if there's any sort of dust. Also good to clean your hands before you kind of then fit the blinds or curtains. They'll also get any sort of pencil marks off of the wall if you need to. So again, that's always in there. And that is my ToughBuilt everyday carry tote, 8-inch tote. So it's got the strap, so I can throw it over my shoulder or carry it with the handle. So that is the first thing that goes with me into every job. The second thing is a pair of slippers, but steel toe cap slippers, good grip. So it just makes the customer sort of appreciate the fact I'm taking my main shoes off at the door, putting on these slippers. I'm safe and comfortable, and the customer's happy. And that's it. Hope that's been of interest.